Released unto the world in 2012 with 4 magnificent titles, the open-world racing franchise has become an almighty behemoth since pitching tents in Colorado. From the latest 4th entry arriving in 2018, it seems as if the franchise has the handbrake held down within Scotland, and the festival hasn't finished raving to this day. The outlook surrounding the festival's future is uncertain, as Playground Games are busy developing a reboot to the Fable franchise, and Turn 10 announcing the latest Forza Motorsport for Xbox Series S and X. However, if it is on the horizon, when and where on Earth will the lights go green and start letting guests through the gates? We're all excited for the next installment of the franchise, and this is our wish list of what we want to see from Forza Horizon 5. Something desperately missing from the Horizon franchise is the ability to race your cars on real-life tracks. Well-known works of architecture are featured within the world of Horizon as beauty spots, so why not include a real-life track as one too? Horizon 4's LEGO DLC involved a circuit to the northwest that featured a racetrack and drag strip, sitting nicely within the center of an oval track. Testing out the top speed through the oval was incredibly fun, and combined with the road track, made for a great place to hang out. Not only could a track be featured as a beauty spot, but how about involving it within a compressed version of the location? For example, let's say Horizon 5 is set within Japan. You could have the Twin Ring Motegi, Tsukuba, Fuji Speedway, and Suzuka circuits spread throughout the map in a heavily condensed version of Tokyo and the surrounding areas. There are a lot of opportunities to use these circuits as different events as well, as they aren't limited to only being built for road cars. For instance, Twin Ring Motegi's circuit also contains an oval track, a dirt track, and another short track to the north for karting and Formula 4 cars. Involving a racetrack also allows the player base to compare lap times from testing each car, or even the top speed of testing on the oval circuit with a speed camera at the end of a straight. Of course, the obvious answer is go and play Motorsport 7 if you really want to race on a track. However, that itch doesn't get scratched by switching to a different title. Horizon's arcade handling differs a lot to Motorsport, but it would also just be nice to have it involved within a festival, with your progress continuing on and being able to switch it up at any time you'd like to. Tuner events are also famously held within Tsukuba, so imagine virtually meeting your friends with your tuned-up vehicles, showing off the fastest times around the track. I'm already envisioning how gigantic my spoiler needs to be. Now, don't get me wrong, the soundtrack throughout the series has been incredible. However, when playing the game for a decent amount of time, you'll end up listening to every single song for at least 20 times or more. It's shown that the quality is absolutely there, but it wouldn't hurt to increase the quantity. Better yet, how about implementing a custom radio station? One particular game that does this well is Grand Theft Auto 5, which involves a custom radio station called Self Radio that allows the player to put audio files within a folder on their PC and listen to the songs in-game. The radio occasionally plays adverts in between songs, and the game even applies effects to the songs, whether it's blasting out of a car's radio while you're outside, or even inside your safe house while it plays over the speakers. Now, the Horizon franchise has always chopped up certain points of the song. When starting a race, the track tends to build up and drop onto the chorus of the song immediately after the lights go out. The same happens immediately after crossing the checkered flag. As the song stops, sound effects such as the cars passing by and bass drops are added into the game, and then it's back onto the song in question, replaying at the height of the track. Now, obviously, it may be different when custom radio is implemented. However, the game might have to let the custom tracks flow through its library without any pauses. Horizon 3 involved a custom radio station through Groove Music. However, it was closed in 2017 and patched out in 2019. Why not bring this or something similar back for Horizon 5? Horizon Stories were a brand new feature introduced into the latest title. You could be a stunt driver working for a film studio, drive along the roads reminiscent of a Top Gear test, or even work alongside a content creator, La Racer, as she counts down the top 10 favorite cars in video games. Hey Rich, write that down! Stories was a welcome addition to the game, but unfortunately came with its own annoyances too. Specifically, the unskippable cutscenes. Now, for the impatient crowd out there, being forced to watch a character monologue to a brick wall in the case of your custom protagonist was quite boring, especially when each story consists of 10 or so missions. After that scene has ended, the character begins a voiceover commentating about the goings-on while you're attempting to complete the mission. For the introductory cutscenes, it would be great to add in a skip cutscene button to appeal to the ones that just want to get on with it. The game tells you what you need to do as soon as the cutscene ends, so why not let the voiceover tell the story while you're completing the mission? While we're on top of introductory cutscenes, please, for the love of Christ, can I say that? Please, for the love of all that's good, let us skip the intro credits. The Turn 10 logo deserves its own volume warning. One of the reasons as to why these are unskippable could be down to disguising a load screen. The game might need time to process the next section and uses that time to give a bit of backstory towards the car and missions you're about to undertake. That being said, the opening cutscene at the very start of the game is possibly the greatest opening to any racing game ever. Experiencing that pure love and excitement for the festival was magical, so it's exciting to see what Playground Games have in store for the next series iteration. This one might be a Microsoft issue rather than a Playground Games or Turn 10 Studios issue. Every Forza title has been put under end of life, or EOL for short, meaning they have been taken off the store and unable to be played unless you've bought the title in the past. The most recent title that has reached its end of life is Forza Horizon 3, and that doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's down to licensing issues with the music tracks or cars, maybe it's down to the servers transferring over to the latest title, or maybe it's a case of pure greed from Microsoft's end, forcing the player base off of an older title and onto the newest. Attempting to play older titles is near impossible if they haven't been purchased before going under EOL. Horizon 3, for example, is a great experience if the player needs a change of scenery, containing a whole new array of activities for newcomers to the series, and especially the ability to cruise around the Australian heat as opposed to a slippery drive through snowy Scotland. For the console player base, you're able to experience older titles through discs, however, it's a huge problem for the PC and digital console audience, not to mention disc-based media slowly being phased out. Microsoft haven't announced the true reason behind putting titles under the end-of-life status, as video games don't exactly expire like a loaf of bread. There isn't any hint of mold within older titles, as the majority are still fresh out of the oven, even after many years on. Don't alienate the future player base, as Horizon 4 and Motorsport 7 are incredible games to experience. Modern-day video games contain a whole multitude of microtransactions, including loot boxes, with the most recent Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Electronic Arts dominating the headlines concerning these shady practices. On the surface, wheel spins don't seem to be a microtransaction, as they are incredibly easy to earn. However, they are literally portrayed as a slot machine and can open a gateway to gambling for the younger audience. These practices do not deserve a place within video games, as gambling addiction is a serious issue to tackle, with research showing loot boxes have become a major link to problem gambling throughout the younger audience. On top of that, how many times have you used a wheel spin hoping for a car or cash reward only to land on a plain t-shirt or a dance emote? Landing on a poor reward is just plain boring. Motorsport 7's milestone rewards come in the form of 3 choices whenever the player levels up. You're given the option between 3 prizes, a cash reward, a discounted vehicle, and a cosmetic reward in the form of a race suit and helmet. Having the choice between 3 rewards not only gives the player what they prefer, but also eliminates the slot machine aspect of the Horizon series. Once again, gambling does not deserve a place within video games, and it needs to be eliminated. Online racing changes have been welcomed in the form of collision detection, ghosting, and slowdown penalties caused by wall riding, though there's still a prevailing issue affecting almost every online race, that being dirty driving. Heavy contact between cars should be punished in the same vein as wall riding, giving either a slowdown or a damage penalty to the afflicting player. The leading cars don't deserve to be punted off the road from an opposing player if they were clearly the faster car, so implementing this could be a potential prevention to dirty driving. Other improvements we would like to see are bigger lobby sizes, as 12 cars isn't enough within online racing. Allow the player to start with a slower and restrictive progression, working their way up to X class. This will give everyone a much more gradual learning curve to online racing, as starting out slower and working their way up from D class is a great way to slowly increase their racing abilities. Replay and spectator cameras would be a welcome change to online races, which could lead the way to esports, provided the penalty system we previously mentioned has been implemented as well. Though the Motorsport series has been involved within esports, why not introduce the Horizon series as well? Every Horizon festival contains a huge number of activities to take part in. Road, dirt, cross-country, drag, stories, and not to mention all of the challenges within the open world such as speed zones, cameras, drift zones, and all sorts. There is a vast amount to do. However, upon reaching the triple-digited 100% completion mark, our gluttonous side shows that we just want more. Horizon 4 kind of answers this issue in a soft form of FOMO with the arrival of seasonal challenges, as new things to do reset each week to celebrate the new scenery transformation. It encourages the players to come back to the game and complete the weekly challenges, but they tend to be tasks we've already completed beforehand, just with a brand new number or name. Basically, we just want more of everything. The Horizon series is plain and simple, an incredible experience to go through. Gaining ticks on everything on the map is satisfying, and it's always a shame for the festival to be unable to provide anything new. As explained in a previous entry, going back to a previous festival isn't an option if you're an unlucky digital user. Other small things we'd like to see are road editors, expiring and changing Forza Edition cars, the ability to add Forza Edition bonuses to any car, and also just general quality of life improvements that are bound to be in Forza Horizon 5, fingers crossed. The latter should include more stats about our chosen cars, such as the number of miles driven, scenery destroyed, total time in the air, and more, but also allow us to own multiple tunes for a car, eliminating the need for duplicate cars in your garage, and see which skills we've unlocked for a car without having to step foot inside it. On top of that, how about having more customization options for our vehicles? Body kits, spoiler varieties, more engine swaps, hell, even glow kits to let us summon our inner Underground 2 vibes. Let me chuck a 5-foot spoiler on my Nissan to roleplay as Wingo from Cars. The Horizon series is always about letting the player be whatever they want to be, as letting our imaginations run wild with a whole multitude of customization options will do exactly that. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and get subscribed if you're not already to ensure you never miss a video from Traxion. Also, head to our website at TraxionGG for the latest news, reviews, esports, and so much more. And follow us on social media by searching TraxionGG on your favorite platform. Thanks for watching, and keep it pinned.